following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, and Shannon Gross.
Nate, we're back.
What's happening, man? How you doing, boy? You look good, man.
I am great, man.
Wow, you look you look refreshed.
Hang on. I got to get this Periscope thing
Okay,
going.
get it going, man. Douglas, you didn't let him get it going.
What's that, Nate?
You didn't let him get his Periscope
There we
going.
go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There we go.
Yeah.
No, we're good, man. We're good.
Yeah.
I'm a little foggy today, so you're going to have to help me through this.
Oh, you going to get through it, man, because
Mexico
some things
got me.
happen.
I know.
Yeah.
I tried to tune the world out whenever I was
did?
down there. Yes, I would. The first day I had my phone with me.
Right.
And then every day after that, I would wake up, I would look at it, make sure nothing was on fire or no emergency. I put it down. I come back in the afternoon, I'd look at it, I put it back down. I wouldn't look at it till the next day again.
Well, give us a brief description of your enjoyment of Mexico, and then we'll start with what's in house.
Some football stuff. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Where did you go? How did you hang out?
It's about an hour south of Cancun, so south of Playa, north of Tulum. So went on that 4-day concert, Luke Bryan concert.
Right.
And we went. One of the cool things we did is we went swimming in an underground cave.
Wow, that's sweet. I'm glad y'all didn't get stuck.
I know, right? I kept thinking that we were there.
Yeah.
It was really cool. And then that's really the only time we left the resort. The rest of the time it was one of those all-inclusive deals. So just ate a bunch of food. And
Did you have scuba gear or just hold your breath?
no, you had a wetsuit and then a life jacket, and you would kind of walk in places, and then you would kind of float a little bit in other places. But the water is like super clear. I've got some pictures. I have to get them up. Yeah, it was really cool.
So now on the concert, did you have to leave the grounds to do the concert? Or?
So they would have the concerts were Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then they would have 2 concerts at the pool during the day, like an acoustic concert.
Right.
And then at night they would have the big show, and Luke Bryan played Thursday and Saturday, and then the headliner Wednesday was Luke Combs, and then the headliner Friday was Thomas Rhett, and then they have other smaller acts that play underneath them. So basically, about 4 or 5 hours worth of music every day, and then you just go hang out and go to the bar and drink a lot of bottled water.
I hear you, my friend. Ain't nothing wrong with that, my friend.
So what all did I miss back here?
Well, we
Because you went on a trip too, right?
yeah, but I went to Mobile, and that was a disaster. So
What?
yeah, that was we got there the day that I got there that Tuesday morning. Mm-hmm. Got my credentials. Went. It was kind of drizzly, wet. So everybody kind of going in, in and out of the stadium. And I should have just went up into the press box with Brothers, but I'm like, nah, I want to see the people. I want to see the players a little closer. And they did okay the first day, but everybody kind of filling themselves out, especially the guys from the smaller schools. They're trying to fill themselves out. Then you get this big old email, 2 hours after practice. Well, we won't be able to have it at the stadium. We're going to have it at South Alabama up under their little slightly indoor facility. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm thinking that don't apply to us. And then I'm calling around and like, hey, man, everybody can't go. Only 2 scouts from each team were able to go.
What?
And so that is when I do all my work is on Wednesday, because I look at a few guys on Tuesday, especially at the smaller schools, saying, okay, how did this guy fit? Because we had like the 64th pick. We ain't picking for a long time.
Right.
So you kind of looking at the smaller school guys, you're looking at explosive guys that you may. So Wednesday you can really just go to work, right now, seeing, So I got up Thursday morning. I'm like, you know what? I called Brothers. I said, Brothers, man, hey, man, I told him, I'm going to come up into the booth so I can, because Brothers is on it. He's nailing it. He's that's his job. I'm like, you know what? I ain't gonna have no opinion on these guys. No true. Where I look with my eyes and make, because I look at it when I go, who catch my eye. I don't need, on Wednesday I want to see who, because I look at the quarterbacks and I may like a quarterback nobody else like. I may like a defensive lineman nobody else like. I may like an offensive lineman nobody else like. Every year I pick me out 4 or 5 guys and they seem to gel. They seem to be those guys because they flash within the practice, whether it's going through the ropes, whether it's one-on-ones, whatever, they'll flash. And I keep my eye on them. Well, when nobody flashing because I missed Wednesday. So I got up Thursday morning, thought about it, said my prayers, read my Bible. See ya, I left.
Really?
Yeah, it was because it was a waste. If you don't, and see, like I said, I'm not like Broder's got access to film.
Right.
To all of these guys and more. So he go in with a set program. My set program is Wednesday. If I miss Wednesday, even if I look at it Thursday, I have nothing to base it on. I have nothing to say, okay, what did he improve? Did he, even though it ain't but a 3-day period, did he improve? Did he fall off? Did he get better? Did he do these steps better? I had nothing to base it on. If you have nothing to base it on, you're looking at them for truly the first time on Thursday.
You remind me of people that go to the horse track.
Tell me about it.
Some people do all their research and their analysis, and they do their numbers, and then some people just show up and go, I like the way that one looks, and that one looks, and that one looks.
Yeah.
And those are your guys.
Yeah.
So you just bailed on them, huh?
Yeah, because, and that's why I kind of had a funny feeling that this year wouldn't be right because notice that the last 3 or 4 shots, I'm like, man, we got to really depend on
Why'd they move
Broder.
it? Did they say why they moved it?
Because it was raining.
Oh.
And this is the funny thing. This is what's so messed up. They moved the practice on Wednesday to the morning and then only drizzled all morning long.
So they could have had it anyway.
And when they got through with practice, at the second practice, through the middle of the second practice, that's when it started raining. I said to myself, now we could have had this. And, and just think of the teams that flew 20 and 30 scouts.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of scouts did like I did. They're like, we just have to catch it all on film. They left Thursday morning. They just started flying out because, at the time, our great president had a shot down the government, so that was messing with the airports. So, wow, really? But anyway, and so we get past that, and then while I'm going down there, we get a new offensive coordinator. We get a new quarterback coach. They release Coach. What his name? Linehan. I forget the name. Once you leave, you go. No, I was just joking. They got rid of our offensive coordinator, Coach Linehan, and now they're trying to debate who's going to be the offensive coordinator out of Coach Garrett and Kellen Moore. And then they got John Kittner. I think that's the only thing that I think is correct is he's going to be the quarterback coach. But the way Mr. Jones is putting it is right now everybody has input. Mm-hmm. And we talked to him a little bit at the in Mobile. That was one of the positive things. That Tuesday he was at the stadium and he talked a long time. He really excited about Kittner being here. Yeah, he's really excited about it.
Well, they really liked him when he was here before.
Yeah,
and they say he's a great locker room guy and a great mentor to those guys whenever they brought him back. So
yeah,
that didn't surprise me that much. The Kellen Moore thing kind of caught me off guard a little bit. How you feel about that?
You go back into his history and you go back all the way to college. And if we get into college, don't call in and tell me about. That was college because all we seeing now is a whole lot of coaches from college are connected to college with their schemes. Mm-hmm. And so his schemes, that's what they do. That's how really Boise State survived because, before Coach Peterson left and before this kid left, Kellen Moore, they would have a great victory over a better team, like a Michigan or Oklahoma. Well, they did that with trickery.
Yeah.
And for and I better say with scheme. Mm-hmm. If I say trickery, then everybody, Nate run right here, the guy gonna trick. No, he did it with scheme because a lot of times they didn't have the players that other teams had. So
right.
they think he's got a scheme or he's can add some of his knowledge to what's already in place with Jason, along with Coach Kittner. Maybe they can put something together. I don't know. I will say this: I feel better about this situation than I did with the 800 wide receivers we started out with last year during the all season.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I know you were a big fan of that.
Yeah, they fooled me. They suckered me, and I would not be suckered again. We saw Michael Irvin. We did a big show. What was the name? It was a year-end show. Mm-hmm. Michael Irvin, Lindsey did a great job. Oh, Lindsey and Bill did a great job of helping us, orchestrate that. And the first thing Michael Irvin, when he saw me, and it wasn't nothing nice when he saw me because it wasn't, I can't say what he said on. I told you that committed bull. Oh, he went. I'm like, yeah, Mike, you were right. Mike, man, he's just going off. Committed receiver back him, and whoever thought of that needed brains blowed out. I'm like, okay.
So he wasn't a big fan either.
No, if not from day one. From day one, because he knows his offense inside and out, and like we talked about it, the spacing of what this offense is, of everybody being in the right place. You need a stud receiver to make that happen. And I don't know why I didn't listen to Mike. I mean, he was he came on a couple of shows for the station that I work for, cussing, saying it won't work, and it didn't work.
He was right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the Kellen Moore deal, but I'm willing to not bash it. Let me see. Maybe he is a creative genius. I mean, they obviously like him around here, and they know a lot more about the football stuff and what goes on behind closed doors than I do.
But you know what's so funny, brother, is if this kid does try to be decent, because it's always a learning curve. I don't care who you are. Mm-hmm. If this kid turned out to be decent, this will be the second time we done had a guy on our staff that we didn't give the opportunity until really too late. Mm-hmm. We did that with Colombo.
Yeah.
We didn't get our first guy in Mike Solari of the Seahawks, and then we didn't give it to this guy, Colombo. Now we have Coach Lanahan, which we didn't know how the season was going to go, but as it was going, if this guy turned out to be that guy, but I still think that at the end of the day, it's going to come down to our players. I really do. And as our quarterback understands the offense more, as we get back with Frederick, where we see where Frederick, who he is and what he's doing, that'll eliminate a lot of whether we got to be creative, whether we got to have this motion, that motion. Mm-hmm. Players still going to have to be the ones.
Let me ask you this. Offensive coordinator in this system or on this team with Garrett being that's how he got promoted to head coach was right. He was, supposedly a genius offensive coordinator. Kellen Moore or whoever they bring in here and hire for this offensive coordinator, how do they work in this system or this arrangement? Do they install the game plan and do they call the plays on game day, or do they give options and then this is what I figure now, mm-hmm. and just a little something to think about is Kellen Moore with just probably a little bit of input from Coach Garrett and Kittner as they get to know each other. But I think Kellen Moore installed the game plan, mm-hmm. and I think Jason will probably be the one that's gonna call the plays. It's gonna be Jason offense. Mm-hmm. If they change something, it's gonna have to be up under his authority, because if he called the plays, he's gonna have to know what the terminologies, the words, whatever, the catchphrases, or what changes plays or keep plays the same. So he's gonna have a big hand in it,
and we just guessing this because we don't know because they haven't told us who's going to be calling plays. Mm-hmm. And so will Jason say, okay, let me see where Kellum go with it. Let's see what I don't think you want to play games during the regular season. So if anything, let's see how you do it during training camp, during mini camp, and with the preseason. Mm-hmm. Because when the season start, the game's over.
Yeah,
it's time to ball. So I'm figuring knows the offense inside and out. Kellum, and he'll set up the game plan. You know, you can set up the game plan, but I tell people it's a knack to calling plays because you one play leads to another play that sets up another play. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's certain plays you ain't gonna call. It got to be the perfect situation. The quarterback got to recognize it. The quarterback, the offensive coordinator, everybody. Wow, this is the play. And you don't want to miss because it's a play that ain't gonna work but once or twice in the game. So you don't want to miss them opportunities. So, offensive coordinator is key. And what I found out this year here by the 4 opponents that's in the Super Bowl is, you're gonna have to score, man. And you heard me say that all year. You're going to have to score. As great as our defense is, and because we wasn't getting takeaways. If we were getting a couple of takeaways a game, turning it into pick six, or scoop and score, then I wouldn't feel so antsy. But this team got to score, man. Mm-hmm. You gotta wake up with 25 points. When you get up out of bed as a quarterback, as an offensive coordinator, you automatically we getting 25. And that's what these 4 teams that's in the playoffs, they wake up in the morning and be like, oh, we getting 25.
Do you think with Kellen being familiar with this system and him being a quarterback, does that make it easier for him to step right in since he's familiar with the staff, or do you think it's more advantageous to bring somebody from the outside in and just mix the whole thing up?
No, I think if he puts the game plan together, Jason can call it. Mm-hmm. Now if you bring in another guy, you got 2 options you got to think of. Are we bringing his offense, or is we going to stay status quo with our offense? And if we're going to stay with our offense, then he's got to learn our offense. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
and that's one thing that Mr. Jones over the last few years has been really adamant about. He likes the consistency. That's why Jason's here. That's why they don't have they kept both coordinators last year and turned over all the other coaches. So.
Right, that's right. You're 100% right, man. And I just laugh because when everybody went out and they supposedly because if you knew Sean McVay, you could get a job. Even Wade Phillips tweeted out, "Hey, my son knows Sean McVay gave him a job." That was funny to me. Like, wow.
By the way, did you see what he wore on the plane?
Nah.
To the Super Bowl?
That was cool.
I'll have to pull it up. He dressed like his dad, like Bum.
Oh, okay.
With his cowboy hat and his wool duster.
Oh, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. But I just when they told me it was Kellen Moore and they brought back Kit, I just started laughing. Because we as fans or we as media types, we wanted everything blew out. We wanted Jason gone. We wanted this person gone. We wanted that person gone. And I told him, I said, the Cowboys ain't finna work that way. First of all, they ain't getting rid of Jason. Second of all, if they do change the coordinator, don't be shocked who they get. Mm-hmm. And, boy, so now, it's just, hey, man, that's what done happened since you. And then, this is the key right here.
Yes.
What I believe in, man.
Free agents, unrestricted free agents. There's 2 pages of free agents that we're going to go through. So let's take a break and let's get into this. We got some big names on here. We got Cole Beasley, Demarcus Lawrence, Swaim. Yeah, let's get into that. Let's take a quick break. Man, this is going to stress me out.
Yeah, it will.
All right, we'll be right back. Hanging with the boys.
A man's Stetson doesn't just protect him from life's elements. It projects an unstoppable and legendary spirit, just like the men wearing silver and navy on the field every Sunday. Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. They are still the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find Stetson hats in the Pro Shop or at Stetson.com today.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Playmaker, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The Playmaker includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized Intense Therapy lip balm and a Cowboys can cooler. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word Cowboys. The Jack Black Playmaker, $10, free shipping.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with sideline access and photo ops with current players, alumni, and cheerleaders. That's not all, though. You'll get to talk X's and O's with Senior Director of Player Personnel Will McClay, and of course with yours truly, me, Brian Broaddus. You can trust the official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, and with us, you'll travel like a pro. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
While a player can look good on paper, it's when he's out on the field that you really find out what he's made of. That's why the Cowboys rely on more than just stats and scouting reports when building their team. When picking a tractor, it's why you should rely on more than just specs and features. You've got to take it out and put it to the test. The Cowboys did when they named John Deere their official tractor. Experience one for yourself. Visit myjohndeeredealer.com/football.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
2 receivers to either side on 4th and 5 of the 20. Shotgun snap to Prescott. Looks right, throws right for the end zone. Caught, touchdown. Austin Hooper, the Atlanta Falcons tight end, gets the NFC on the board from 20 yards out, and now a 20-6 ball game.
20-6. Pro Bowl. Did you watch the Pro Bowl at all?
When did they play it?
I think it was yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Answer that question. Put Tommy John on your end zone. Underwear that's guaranteed to never ride up. Trust me, I wear it. I really do. It's like nothing you've ever worn before. Plus, it's backed by the best pair you'll ever wear, or it's free guarantee. Shop exclusive Cowboys underwear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys for 20% off your first order. TommyJohn.com/Cowboys.
Hi, laddie.
Hey,
Kurt's out.
So when did they play it, Douglas?
It was yesterday.
Oh, for real? Okay.
I didn't watch it either, but I have access to the NFL's play-by-play website.
That was sweet.
Yeah.
That was sweet, brother. Keep doing your thing.
Did you see the memes that were going around after the game?
Nah.
People said it was a picture of Coach Garrett, and they said gave him the best talent in the NFC and he still gets blown out. How mean is that? How mean is that? That's our coach.
Hey, man, you want to go over the Cowboy unrestricted free? See, because I tell people, man, but first of all, let me ask this up, all three of y'all, before we go over this. Okay.
Who's the third person? Kurt's not here.
I'm not going there.
By the way, Kurt had an appointment today. Couldn't be here. He'll be back next week. So,
Doug, why he always taking shots at you, Doug?
No, you said 3 of y'all. It's just me and Doug.
That's what I'm saying. It's 3 of us. Okay. Before we go, confused. And be quick about it. Okay. If you want to, you take your time though. This is my expectations of the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
From this day on, and I said it at the end of the year, I expect no more losing seasons.
Mm-hmm.
I expect for Jason Garrett to either give me what he gave me this year or more.
Mm-hmm. You're wanting 10-win seasons every year, right?
Every year. As long as you got this core group, that's what I expect.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking for a divisional game every year.
Mm-hmm.
Not no first round knockout. I'm talking about a divisional game and better than what was last year. So that means you got to get better players. It's going to lead us back here. What are your expectations for the Dallas Cowboys as of right now today? My opinion ain't changing. You have enough core talent, and if you go out and do the right things during free agency and you do the right things in the draft, you can only get better.
I'm with you. I think you've had some challenges up to this point. Now you've done it your way. You've got your players in here, your coaches. I'm with you. Like that should be the ground should be 10 wins in a divisional game.
That's right.
And if anything less, then you're probably looking at a whole new coaching staff and
I'm not
blowing
even
this whole
you know
thing
what,
up.
Shannon, I'm not even gonna go there. That is what I expect, and I think to ask anything less because Mr. Stephen Jones, I like what he said. He said, you know what, we got here. This is what I expect every year now.
I like that.
I'm tired of win one, lose one, win one, lose one. Mm-hmm. That's not fair, to the fans. I mean, we can't control it as fans, and you can't even control it as a coach. But now, you've seen it all, you've been there, and that's why I say what I say. Doug, do you have any thoughts?
No, I'm with you. I mean, I think that if he hadn't been suspended last year, we'd have 3 playoff seasons in a row right now. Going forward, I really don't know what to expect because, like y'all have been talking about, I don't know what Travis Frederick, what his future is going to be. I'm optimistic like everybody is, but, when Zeke, Dak, and that offensive line got together 2 years ago, 2 or 3 seasons ago, it looked to me like that core could make it to the playoffs pretty much as long as it was healthy going forward. And now I don't know, just because next year I want to see what Travis Frederick does. But I like what you're thinking.
Do you have any expectations? You have none, so you have no expectations.
I don't know what to expect, man. Okay. It's the first place schedule next year.
Nah.
Nah.
No, brother. No.
I don't know what to expect, but I agree. I want playoffs again. Of course I do.
I understand your opinion, but that can't be it no more. Because if we go back to 9-7 or 8-8, why would we draft Leighton? Why did we draft the other kid, Jalen? Why did we go out and even sign Looney? You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If what you're doing ain't to build on a better tomorrow, I mean, you might as well, just beg all the old guys that left 3 years ago. Hey, man, all y'all just stay. We can go 8-8. And the first place schedule, oh, yeah, I agree. You're going to play 2 tougher opponents in New England and another squad, the Rams, and you got a tougher division that you're going to play against. And everybody you play against is going to be first-place teams. Mm-hmm. But if our skill set is still an 8-8 skill set, why are we sitting in the room here?
Well, your expectation is 10-win seasons and divisional playoff games every year. Do you think that's realistic? Do you think this team can do that?
Yeah. I mean, tell me why not. I mean, tell me why not. See, 2 years ago, before I knew who Dak was, before I knew who Zeke was, and the things that they done this year proved to me that our left tackle missed 3 or 4 games. We won games. Mm-hmm. Our left guard was unstable. We won games. We didn't have our starting center. We won games. We lost Sean Lee part of the season, and he lost his job during the season. We won games with a young guy at his position and a young guy at the Mike backer. We won games. Now, I understand that tragedy happens, but unless all these guys get sick, why would we not get better? We got all the coaches except one. Only coach we don't have is the assistant special team coach and the offensive coordinator. But we have everybody else in place. All you have to do, and it's as simple as this, Shannon, all you have to do is go out and don't make a mistake on the free agents that you bring in here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you don't know how a young draft pick will play in this league, but you do kind of know, unless you get an elite free agent, you kind of know how a role player going to play, and you probably can fit him into what you do. So, I mean, I see no holes big enough that I see Blake Jordan getting better.
Mm-hmm.
I see Schultz getting better. Okay, we already got Swain. So I see our offensive line. Even if Frederick come back 75% of himself, now you got Frederick. You got another year on the left guard. What is that?
Collins.
Mm-hmm. So, and you got Suafila, who's been in the system a little bit more. So now you may be looking at a left tackle, finding you a left tackle. So the inside of your offensive line is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to help one guy. Lyle Collins played well.
You were thinking of Connor Williams.
Connor Williams as the left guard. Lyle Collins played great. He got better as the year went on.
Mm-hmm.
So your offensive line is solid. You don't have to have, and I'll repeat this 1,000 times, you don't have to have a great offensive line. If you got a good offensive line, you can rule this league.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is you got 5 healthy guys that's on the same page and understanding who they got to block. You got an 85% chance of winning on every snap. So our defense, all we need is one guy, whether that's Malik Collins grow up and stay healthy, or they go out and get another guy to help man that middle. Where are you hurting at? All we have to do on defense is improve on turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Now our special teams was a big hole, but nah, man, it's no way in the world you're going to tell me that this team, even though it's playing a first-place schedule, if they don't get better next year, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. If they don't get better next year, there's going to be a house cleaning. But, I mean, they're going to have to be better than 21 points a game on offense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
That you got to wake up. And I agree. That's why I only got one defensive guy in my mix. Free agency, and the draft. I only got one defensive guy in my whole, draft a defensive monster.
Mm-hmm.
Preferably in the middle of the line. But if you get him somewhere else, I'm not going to be mad. And let everything else be offense. We got to score, bro. We got to score.
All right, let's go down this list of free agents. This is how you want to do this. You want to say if we think they're coming back or if we want to bring them back.
Just give your opinion, bro. Just give your opinion on what you truly feel.
Douglas, you get in on this too.
Yeah. Just give your opinion on what you truly.
Tavon Austin.
Right price, bring him back.
Yeah.
At the right price.
I think he's interesting because if they use him the right way, we've seen what he can do. He can change a game in the special teams. If they find a way to get him the ball, he's something that
he is our special teams.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's just a different player. You don't have that guy. Even, Beasley is good, but to me, Tavon's a little more dynamic than Beasley. He can break a big play. To me,
right.
Before you got Cooper, him and Zeke were the only 2 real threats you had on offense. So I'm with you. I'd definitely bring him back. What do you think, Doug?
Yeah. No, I like Tavon. If you don't bring him back, you better find somebody with a similar skill set.
Yep, I'm with
you. He's had 2 things against him during his career: his health and his propensity to turn the ball over to fumble.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't play enough last year for us to know if he's improved on fumbling or not, but he definitely had a tough time staying healthy. But I think this offense, one of the biggest things you can do for Dak is give him dump-off guys that you scheme to who have the ability to do yards after the catch. And that's going to help Dak a whole lot.
Yeah. Beasley, this is an interesting one because he might get some bigger money than what they're wanting to pay here. I think if you use him, which you haven't figured out a way to use him or get him the ball consistently, I say bring him back, but I have a feeling he's going to go for too much money that they're not going to be able to bring him back as your third wide receiver.
Let's let the market prove that.
Good point.
Yeah, you know, to everybody loves Beasley, including the guys over there, but Beasley don't love himself.
Mm-hmm.
You caught the second most passes in your career. You still, got something to say, or you let things leak out off of your website. And I'm praying the coaches ain't into that. I'm praying the coaches ain't, let them kids be kids. Let's just see what the market bears. Because sometimes we think it's a big market out there. What if this ain't the year of the wide receiver? This may not be the year of the wide receiver. So let's just see what the markets bear on him. So,
Doug, what you got?
Yeah, Beasley's tough. He's getting older. He's a fan favorite. I like him. I've always liked him. But he's been getting nicked up. And I think as a third receiver, as a slot receiver, Dak may need a taller target, ideally. Because I think, that's one of the problems. Beasley ends up on a lot of deep routes somehow, and it's really tough for anybody, not just Dak, to throw a deep ball to a guy that size. And we've seen that this season. I'd like them to upgrade on both. I'd like them to combine Tavon and Beasley and find something that has
somebody that's
both of those skill sets. That you're talking, a Dave Meggett type, Preston Pearson way back in the day. But yeah, Beasley's a tough one, man. Everybody likes him.
Let the market show you.
Yeah, that may be the best way to go.
Yeah.
Let that determine it.
Cam Fleming.
Oh, man, he played way better. Way better than what training camp was.
I was going to say he started out really
he played way better than what training camp was. So, if they like him and the money's right, let's bring him back. Because he played way better than what he showed in training camp. Training camp, I'm like, wow, really?
And if you don't bring him back with the issues that Tyron's had the last couple of years, you got to go find somebody that can play that position, right?
That's right.
So if you let him go, you got to bring somebody in.
That's right.
David Irving, that's an interesting one. You think time's up on that?
Man, the club has given him everything, and you've given the club nothing. Your teammates have rallied around you, and you have not took that spirit and did anything with it. I don't feel David Irving, man.
Yep.
Great athlete. I just don't feel him. It comes a point where you have to give something back at some point. You can't play 2 games and not play the rest of the year,
And it's frustrating to see someone that has that much potential and that much talent, and not take advantage of it and leverage it. And you see the opportunities that he's had, and it's, from a pure talent standpoint, he may be the most gifted guy that's on this team. So I don't know anything, but I just get the vibe that, that may have run its course. What do you think, Doug?
Yeah, I don't have any inside info on that, but I think they needed him badly versus the Rams in the playoffs, and he wasn't there. And I don't know that they're going to forgive that.
Yeah. Dayton Jones.
Don't know enough about him.
I'm with you. This is an interesting one because you don't ever really hear this guy's name, and in this position, that's a good thing. LP.
If the money's right, we got to keep LP. That is for real.
Yeah.
You don't know how valuable those guys is until a snap go over your punter's head.
Until you have a bad one, right?
Yeah. So please, get him back, man.
Here's the big one that's on everybody's mind. Demarcus Lawrence.
Do what you got to do. And if this is one of these guys where I wouldn't play with him. I would if I'm gonna sign him, I'm gonna sit down and say, hey, and I'm not on the ship here, so I don't know the relationship they have with him, but I'll be like, hey man, what do you want? This is what the market bears for you. Mm-hmm. Let's get it done if we're gonna get it done, and if not, say, hey, well, you know what, brother, we're not gonna lose you, and we look very nice, so we just gonna tag you
again. Yeah.
You and then let him think on it. Because he is instrumental in your locker room,
mm-hmm.
and you don't play with your locker room,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
And he's really stepped up in that role this year and became one of those vocal guys.
Yeah.
And, even behind the scenes, like, hey, we got to take care of business. We got to get this done. We got to go punch an MFer in the mouth.
Right.
So I'm with you. What do you do with him, Doug?
Yeah, you got to keep him. I mean, when they drafted Taco, that was when Jerry became known for saying War Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got his War Daddy. It's not Taco that we know of, but it is Tank, and you got to keep that.
He plays the run and the pass very well.
Yeah, Justin March Lillard, kind of not a big name guy, not somebody you hear about a lot, but a really solid special teams guy and a good backup.
Solid backup, special teams guy, not a huge priority, but can return on minimal deal for depth and insurance. Okay, and that's what we'll do.
All right. Marcus Martin.
He didn't play.
Yeah,
he just got hurt.
Unknown.
And then he came in out, man. Wow, he looked like a young Nate Newton out there, 389,000 pounds. Shoot,
Jameez Olawale, the fullback that they don't use just a whole lot. You think they're going to keep a fullback on this team? Have they had a fullback ever since Garrett became coach?
That was prominent.
Pretty much.
Nah, they had one, but not.
Haven't used them a lot, right?
They had a guy, I forget his name, but back when DeMarco Murray was here, there was a season that it was a night and day difference whether that fullback was healthy as to whether DeMarco. I mean, there was a big uptick in his productivity. Right. I don't remember who that guy was.
Was it Goskowski? Was it the guy that got Romo's collarbone broken?
No, I think it was a different guy, but that was you're in the same era.
Gotcha. Okay. Karan Reed.
Yeah. If you can get him back, man. If you can get him back, he did a nice job. He did. He played hard when he was in there. Especially if we don't get that big stud D lineman. Another stud D lineman. We got. If the money's right, man.
Here's another interesting one. A lot of people like this guy, Rod Smith.
Yeah, we got to bring Rod back, man. Rod is a great special teams player, but he showed better in the preseason, and I thought he would have a little more oomph in the regular season, but he didn't, but he is a guy that helps this team. But now will he looking for a bigger role, more playing time with somebody paying? We'll see.
Yeah,
It'd
be interesting to see if they use Darius Jackson too.
You know what's amazing is, was he held back because of the way they did things at the running back position? Because guys could leave here or go to other teams like, wow, like C.J. Anderson, like, wow, man, this dude way more like an I running like a. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So it's Rod Smith, that guy, and then we got to let him go find out, like, wow.
We let that guy go.
We let that guy go, and we had him right here. What you think, Doug?
Well, we found him on Kansas City's practice squad.
Right.
Like, we were still at Valley Ranch when we signed him. So, I mean, he's been around a while. But yeah, he's a solid runner. He'll surprise you when he's out running routes. I mean, he's got good hands.
Yeah,
that guy's solid.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I've talked about this. We'd like another running back with speed in the rotation, but that doesn't mean Rod Smith's got to go anywhere.
Yeah, and the thing that helps him out a lot is he plays plays special teams.
Yeah,
both ways on special teams.
Great special teams.
Yep. Jeff Swaim, this is an interesting one. I think we all agree we want to keep him around.
Yeah. I tell people, man, that's staying healthy. Brother Jeff, you got to come back and give us a strong year, brother. That being hurt, man. I mean, missing 4 and 5 games a year. As much as I love him, man, and I hope we can get him back. But you got to stay healthy, my brother.
Yeah, and a lot of people ask about the tight end position. If they bring Swain back, I'm good with that rotation of those 3 guys. Him, Jarwin, and Schultz. Like I feel good. I don't think you need to go draft a tight end. I think you develop those guys out. You know, like you said, health's an issue though. Health's been a concern. Damian Wilson, special teams guy.
If the money right, bring him back. If the money's right, bring him back. Unless Justin Marsh, Lillard, some of them other guys can play this Sam Backer, bring him back. He does his job at that position.
All right, that's all of the unrestricted free agents. Now you got one restricted free agent, Darian Thompson, the safety that they brought in, I think, later in the season. I didn't really see a whole lot of him, to be honest with you. I know he played a little bit. He was active for, 2 or 3 games maybe? Yeah. I don't know enough about him to have an opinion. Doug, do you know enough about him?
We have to give him an incomplete.
Incomplete? He gets an I?
Yes.
And then exclusive rights free agents, Daniel Ross. Which he
flashed here and there.
He flashed, man, yeah.
He did, and then he would be inactive, this game, and then he'd be active, and he'd make a big play, and then he'd be inactive. So I'd like to give him a shot and bring him back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The only person on this deal, and I'm serious out of all these players with his name, the only one that I just don't feel good about because I don't know where his heart at is David Irvin.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else.
Bring him back? If the money's right?
Yeah, if the money's right, you can bring them back because it's still all about competition. It's still all about competing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can upgrade, because I'm basing everything off of 10 wins or more in divisional round. That's what I'm basing it off of. I'm not basing, all these guys can leave if they upgrade the position. And so, I'm not running a charitable home here. I'm trying to get to the I'm trying to get there, man. I'm serious. I got a personal relationship with a lot of these guys on this list. You have great relationships with a lot, but this ain't about whether I like you as a human being. I'm talking about getting the Cowboys to a consistent 10 or more wins a year, being in the playoffs, and I'm talking about at least the divisional round, because that wild card thing, you just another guy. You just another guy that got lucky one year. But them 10 wins, 11 wins in divisional round, that means you humping and grinding. So that's where you need to be.
You know where the Super Bowl is next year?
Where is that?
Miami.
Where the Stars go to vacation.
I could do a week in Miami.
Yeah, I bet Shannon could forego Mexico for Miami.
But then they'd probably stick us out in Fort Lauderdale or something again.
It don't matter, bro.
Street is Hooters.
It don't matter. It don't matter, bro. You just catch your little Uber every day right on to the show. But I tell my Uber person, if I was single, I tell my Uber person, practice is over with at 5. Come pick me up at 5. Take me downtown and pick me up the next morning at 6.
Okay, so here's one way we can get through the off season. One of the segments is Nate answers questions as if he were single.
Ooh.
And
nah, man.
Shannon and Kurt come with questions.
What'd you say, Nate?
I lose my wife. She'd be like,
yeah, but we've got listeners who need your advice, I bet.
No, they don't need my advice. I ain't trying to wreck people's lives. I don't want to wreck nobody's life, man. You can't get away with this foolishness I did when I was a youngster. It's going to hurt you these days.
Who do you think's the biggest priority on this list? Demarcus Lawrence?
Demarcus Lawrence. Then Cole Beasley to see where he's at.
Swaim?
Nope. Cole Beasley, Demarcus Lawrence, Cole Beasley,
Damian Wilson.
Cole Beasley, then Damian.
LP?
Yeah. Swain and then Swain, because the thing is, they like Blake Jarwin.
Mm-hmm.
And if Blake comes in and be a better blocker this year, and it shows to be a better blocker, my man Jeff gonna be in for a fight, for some playing, not only making the team but for playing.
Yeah.
So a lot rides on, this year here now. I mean, a lot ride, because I'm telling you, all last offseason, when they mentioned tight end to Mr. Stephen Jones, he only talked about one guy. When they say, hey, we don't have Jason Witt no more, the first name he hollered was
Blake.
Don't worry, we okay. We got Blake Jarwin.
And then Kurt jinxed him. We still got to get that right.
Yeah, we do, man. We got to kind of make up to him. So we got to kind of give him a little gift so Kurt can give him some type of little.
Feels like you're snake bit sometimes.
Yeah.
Old Kurt.
But I'm serious. What's your order? What's your order? Because I got Demarcus Lawrence, and then I got
Demarcus to me for sure, because not only what he is able to do on the field, but like you said earlier, in the locker room, he really stepped up this year and became a leader and a voice in that locker room. And probably, I love Cole to death, and I like his. It's weird to say this, but his potential, just because I don't think they were able to get him the ball. And I think if he goes somewhere else, they're going to find a way to get him more involved in the offense. So if you're not going to use him, or you can't figure out a way to get him the ball, then I'm okay with them just bringing a guy in here and replacing him. I mean,
No. You look. Don't. Let's not say that. Let's not practice that. That's not even.
Okay. Get me straight.
Don't bring a. See, we don't need no more A guys. We got a list of A guys. If they can bring somebody who is an upgrade to Cole, then bring him in here. If they're not going to be equal or better.
But do you think they use Cole to his full potential? I guess is
Cole caught 65 passes.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 years ago, he caught 73 or 77. Cole will be all right. This offense ain't designed for, quote-unquote, the slot receiver. It's designed for the outside guys. If Cole don't like his role, I understand. But it'll be games where he's going to catch 6 or 7 passes. It'll be a game where he only catch 1 or 2. And so, because what you got to understand now, the majority of the passes going to your outside receivers. As the tight ends get better, it ain't the outside receivers taking it away from Cole. As the tight ends get better, that's who's going to be getting Cole snaps. Guess who else took Cole snaps? That dude in the backfield, number 21.
Yeah.
His thing went from 32 to 40 passes up to, 77? Them passes came from somewhere.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You get what I'm saying? So, as much as I like Cole, and that's why I said let the market bear it out. If the market is right and he get his money, then you know what? I don't think nobody in this room or our section going to say, oh, man, wow, we should have paid Cole. We're going to be like, man, Cole got his money.
Right.
But if he come back, we're going to be like, we got you, Cole.
I'm with you.
Now, come on in here and be happy. Sit down and be happy. Put some sauce on that thing and let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Produce another record.
Huh?
Get us another record.
Produce another record.
Oh, yeah.
Rap album.
Yeah.
Do what he needs to do to be happy.
The thing that scares you is if we didn't have the receivers that we have, I would be scared to death. If Gallup, when the show there, the last, it's 2 or 3 last games of the year, if Blake Jarwin would have did what he did, I would be scared to death, brother.
But you feel better about it?
Oh, yeah. Because our quarterback is better. Our quarterback is better. I like what I saw the last 3 games. People like, well, he didn't do what. To me, I was looking at more than just what he completion-wise. I was looking at how was he settled. He was settled in all 3 of these games. He moved around in the pocket like we hadn't seen in 2 years. I mean, I'm not about, hey, you got to run the ball 90 times. He got to run the ball 8 times a game for us to win. No, he don't. What he has to do is settle down and be able to move around in that pocket. He was able to move around in the pocket without panicking. Before that, man, he would move out of the pocket. He would run 9 yards before he even looked down the field. Now he's looking down the field. Mm-hmm. Come on. If we can get Cole Beasley back, along with Blake Jarwin, in our tight end situation, I feel good.
Okay.
I do. I mean, I really do. If we lose him, now Blake Jarwin really has to be a big point. Schultz has to be a bigger point. Jeff Swain has to be a bigger point. And whoever be the best out of them 3, it'll be all right.
All right. Hey, Doug, before we go, anybody still on the phone?
Let's see if Miles in Connecticut.
Miles Davis, I thought that man passed away.
Did you hang in there, Miles?
Yep, I'm here.
Hey, man. Sorry we left you on hold so long.
What's up, Miles? We sorry about that.
How are you?
Next Monday, we'll be all about the fans.
Yeah, nothing but calls. Yeah. We won't have nothing to talk about.
We hope.
Except the Super Bowl we didn't go to this year.
It's no biggie. How was Mexico, Shannon?
It was good, man. It was good. It was a lot of fun. I'm still a little foggy, so that's why I haven't discussed it too much. I don't want to talk about anything I shouldn't. So maybe next week I'll get into it.
I hear you. I live in Connecticut. It's like 20 degrees out here, so I can imagine you had a good time out there.
That's no good.
But, when it comes to this draft and, the off season, I'm a little torn between structuring our defense, getting it better than what it was, this year, or reassuring our offensive line, because I'm real concerned with Travis Frederick, his future. Is it time to go draft someone in the 2nd round, 3rd round to maybe fill that position or help fill that position in the future? So I'm a little torn between the 2. And then when it comes to Cole Beasley, in the last couple of weeks, he's been scrutinized for, I guess, comments that was said against the front office. Is that bad for the locker room culture that I think Garrett has such a good grasp on right now? This is more for Nate. And,
that's more for Shannon, because I don't know these guys as well and as close as Shannon does. So, in this social media world, sir, it is so much no matter what sport, it's always a guy or girl that's not afraid to put it out there. And his coach is strong enough to say, you know what, hey, he's just a different generation. Or the coach is like, you know what, I ain't throwing him the ball this week.
Right. And here's one thing, and I would imagine it's like that with every team, but guys don't get upset with the guy to go make money.
Right.
Because your window, especially in football, your window is so limited to get paid. So anytime a guy speaks up and talks about getting money and getting paid and contracts, I don't think that affects the locker room at all. That's just guys going, hey,
I know it didn't affect my squad. When it was time to get paid, everybody wanted you to get paid. You did what was necessary. That thing that happened with Steelers was unusual.
Yeah.
That was very unusual.
Because like back when Ron Leary left and he went and got paid by the Broncos, there were no guys that were happier for him than the offensive line guys, because they knew he went and got his money and he wasn't going to be able to get it here. So good.
Oh, really? Good.
Good call, man. Good. Appreciate you hanging in there, buddy.
All right, Miles.
Are you good to Miles's point, are you good, and we'll get into draft talk later on in another show, but are you good with them in the 1st round or 2nd round of the draft? Offensive or defensive line, or you think strictly defensive line?
No, I think they can do either one, but I don't want, and this is kind of weird, I don't want to spend a whole lot of assets on a whole lot of defensive players. Mm-hmm. I really don't. Even the 6th and 7th round, and even if we get some compensatory picks, I want them to all be offense.
Because defense is good, right?
Yeah, and I think what we have to do is be whoever we get defensively, they have to be impact players. They have to be guys that, if you go get a safety, let it be a guy that can really make a difference. If you go get a defensive lineman, if we're not going to keep what we got, go get a defensive lineman that's going to truly be – it's going to be hard to have the impact that Demarcus Lawrence have, but have some impact, a game changer. I want everything, because if you can't, and I say this, as great as our defenses was when I played, last year or the year before, you're gonna have to score, man. Mm-hmm. You can't sit up and not score. You're gonna have to score. As much as we got in the red zone this year and did not come away with 7, that was pathetic and that was sad.
Well, you know what else is sad?
What's that?
We got to go to lunch.
No, that ain't never sad.
Okay, you're right.
Ain't no sad.
But that means we got to get off the air.
Yeah.
So Douglas, thanks for producing and contributing. Kurt, we'll see you next week. Nate, thanks for bringing it.
Man,
it's been too long.
Good,
man.
Kurt. Are your mother doing all right?
She is. She's doing good. I should have got her.
Did you call her when you was in Mexico?
No, I haven't talked to her in a week.
She's a lady.
I called her before I left, but I hadn't talked. Oh, by the way, who you think's winning the Super Bowl?
I never go against Tom Brady.
I'm with you.
Never. Now, if the Saints would have been in there,
maybe
I'm serious, because I went with the Saints all year.
Yeah.
So maybe if the Saints would have been there, I'd have went against Tom. But
yeah, and they seem like they got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder this year. We're still here. You've been saying that for the last week. Who you got, Doug?
Yeah, I'm going to root for Wade Phillips to get him another ring. So let's pick the Rams.
All right. I'm going with the Patriots. I don't want to see him win another one, but can't go against Tom. So, well, thanks, Douglas. Thanks, Nate. We'll see you next week, Kurt. Thanks, Kent. Thanks, Presley. We'll be back.
Mom next week, huh?
Yeah, we'll call Mom next week. On Hangin' with the Boys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.